Welcome to our deep dive into the world of personal finance. We've got some great material to dig into today.
Yeah, it's a really solid guide.
Is right. Specifically, we're looking at Money 101, your guide to personal finance basics. And, my goal here is to pull out
Mm-hmm.
the most actionable and maybe even some surprising insights for our listeners.
I think we can definitely do that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
One of the things that really stood out to me
Okay.
right off the bat with this source was how it emphasizes the why behind financial literacy.
It does. It really focuses on the foundation
Yes, exactly.
rather than just the steps,
Right. It's not just about like, okay, here's how to balance your checkbook. It's about understanding, like, why is it important
Right. Exactly.
to manage your money? And what does that even mean?
Yeah, it's about empowering yourself. Rather.
Totally. And there's this quote that I loved.
Okay.
It said, financial literacy is the ability to understand how money works, how someone manages to earn or make it, how that person manages it, how she invests it, and how that person donates it to help others.
That's a really good one. It captures like the full cycle.
It does.
Yeah.
Right. From earning it to managing it, investing, donate. It's like the whole picture.
Yeah. And you know what I like about that too is that it highlights how financial literacy is not just for like the wealthy or people who are already good with money.
Right.
It's really for everyone at every income level.
It is. And this deep dive is really all about giving you, the listener, the knowledge to take control of your money and make it work for you, no matter where you're starting from, right?
Exactly. And it's not about becoming an expert overnight.
Yeah.
It's about taking those small steps, building that foundation.
Building blocks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And speaking of building blocks, let's talk about budgeting.
Okay, here we go.
I know for some people, the word budgeting kind of makes them cringe, right? It feels restrictive. It feels
like a diet.
Yeah. But this source actually offers a really fresh perspective on budgeting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It goes beyond just tracking every penny.
Yeah.
And it focuses on creating a framework that really aligns with your values
I like it.
and your goals, right?
Yes.
So one of the strategies that it highlights is the 50-30-20 rule.
Ah, okay.
Now, I know you've probably heard of this before.
I have, yeah, the classic breakdown.
Right, 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment.
Yeah, that's the one.
But here's what I found interesting about how they presented it in this source.
Okay.
They really emphasized that 30% for wants.
Okay.
And they said, think about that as guilt-free spending.
Oh, like
on things you genuinely enjoy.
Okay.
Like imagine 30% of your income just dedicated to dinners out with friends, weekend trips.
I am imagining that, yeah.
Concerts, whatever it is that brings you joy.
It's making budgeting sound a lot more fun.
Right.
Than I think it gets credit for sometimes.
Exactly. It's not about deprivation. It's about prioritizing.
Being intentional.
Exactly. And this source also talks about another budgeting method that might appeal to people who are more hands-on.
Oh, okay.
And that's the envelope system.
The envelope system. Now that's...
It's a classic. It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it's so effective.
It is.
You literally divide your cash into envelopes labeled with different spending categories, right? Groceries, entertainment, transportation.
Yep.
And so on.
And it really is. It's a great way for some people to visualize, right?
Yeah.
It's very tangible.
It's tangible. You see that money going down as you spend.
And it really can help to curb those impulse purchases, right?
It can, because you're like, oh, I'm actually taking money out of this envelope.
Yeah, exactly.
And I only have this much left. So it really makes you think twice.
It's a good reality check.
Exactly. And it's all about finding what works for you, Some people are more visual. Some people
love spreadsheets. Some people
say
have
that's
tangible cash.
That's right.
So find what works for you.
Yeah. And speaking of finding what works, let's talk about banking and savings.
Okay. Yeah.
This source goes beyond just, the basics of opening an account, and it really stresses the importance of understanding interest rates and fees.
Yes, absolutely. And it really dives into APY.
APY.
Annual percentage yield, which can sound really intimidating, but this source explains it in such a simple way.
Okay.
Think of your savings account as your money's gym. Okay.
I like it.
APY is your money's personal trainer. The higher the APY, the more gains your money sees over time.
So we're not just letting our money sit there. We're
yeah.
making it work for us.
Exactly. We want our money to be doing those squats.
Getting those gains. Yeah.
Exactly. And another thing that's emphasized in this source is the importance of having a solid emergency fund.
Okay. Yeah. Emergency funds. It recommends having 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up.
Now, that might seem like a lot, especially if you're,
It can, especially when you're first starting out.
yeah, when you're just getting going.
Right.
Okay.
But think about it like this.
Okay.
It's your financial safety net.
Okay.
Life, as we know, is unpredictable.
Oh, yeah?
Unexpected expenses can pop up at any time, right?
All the time.
Car repair, medical bill.
Job loss, even.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Having that emergency fund gives you peace of mind.
It does.
And it prevents you from going into debt
Yes.
when those unexpected events occur.
It's that cushion, right?
It is. It's a cushion. It's a buffer.
It's like a stress reliever.
Exactly. It just takes that
Yeah.
worry away.
So we got our budget, we're banking smart, we're building up our emergency fund.
We're doing great.
What about debt?
Debt.
It's the D word.
It is the D word, but this source doesn't shy away from it.
No, it tackles it head on.
It does. And it even introduces a strategy that might surprise some people.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's called the debt avalanche method.
debt avalanche.
Yes. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of, I think, the snowball method.
Yes. Okay, so the debt avalanche is all about prioritizing the debt with the highest interest rate.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's different from the snowball.
It is, yes. So the snowball method, which is very popular,
Yeah.
is you pay off the smallest debt first.
Okay.
And that can feel really good.
Yeah, you get that, like, momentum.
Exactly. It's psychologically very rewarding.
Yeah.
But the debt avalanche
Okay.
argues that it's actually more financially efficient to tackle the debt with the highest interest rate first.
Okay, because you're stopping that,
Exactly.
like, bleeding, essentially.
You're stopping the bleeding. You're preventing that debt from growing as quickly.
So you end up paying less in the long run.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's about being strategic
Yes.
and really attacking that debt that's costing you the most.
Exactly.
Okay, and there's another tip that they give in this source that I thought was really interesting.
Oh, what's that?
They say, don't be afraid to negotiate with your creditors.
Oh, that's a good one.
You can do that.
You can, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that.
Wow.
But many creditors are actually willing to work with you, especially if you're proactive and you're demonstrating
Mhm.
a genuine commitment to repayment.
Okay.
You might be surprised at the flexibility that you can find.
So it's worth picking up the phone
Yes.
and having a conversation.
Definitely. You have nothing to lose and potentially a lot to gain.
Yeah, I love that. It's like, like anything else, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Exactly.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have. We've talked about budgeting, banking, emergency funds, debt management.
But let's move on to another crucial aspect of personal finance. Investing.
Okay. Investing. Now, this can feel really intimidating, especially for beginners.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But this source does a great job of breaking it down
Okay.
and making it feel accessible to everyone.
I like that.
So one of the things that it really emphasizes is that you don't need to be a Wall Street guru.
Right.
To start investing, you can start small.
Yeah.
You can gradually build your knowledge and your confidence over time.
And you don't have to. Like,
You don't have to go all in.
yeah, go all in right away.
Oh.
You can kind of dip your toes in.
Exactly. You can dip your toes in, experiment a little bit, see what feels comfortable for you.
And it also highlights the importance of diversifying your investments, right?
Oh, absolutely. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right?
All right.
By spreading your investments across different asset classes, stocks, bonds, real estate, things like that.
It's about managing the risk.
Exactly. You reduce your risk and you potentially increase your returns.
Okay, so creating a balanced portfolio
Yes.
that aligns with your
Your risk tolerance.
risk tolerance and your financial goals.
Exactly.
And this source also reminds us that investing is a long-term game.
Yes, it is. Don't get caught up in the day-to-day fluctuations of the market.
Oh, that's so hard to do, though.
It is. It's very tempting to check your portfolio every day.
Oh, every hour, I feel like.
Right. But really, the key is to focus on the big picture and let your investments grow over time.
Patience is key.
Absolutely. Patience is key when it comes to investing.
I love that.
Now, speaking of patience, this source also delves into the importance of building a good credit score.
Yes. Credit scores, kind of a mystery sometimes,
They can be
I feel like.
very mysterious.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
misinformation out there.
misconceptions, for sure.
Right. But this source breaks it down
Right.
in a really clear and concise way.
So,
So it emphasizes that your credit score is more than just a number.
right.
It's really a reflection of your financial responsibility,
It is.
and it can have a huge impact on your life.
It can.
Right.
Yeah.
So a good credit score can help you qualify for lower interest rates on loans, get approved for credit cards more easily,
Mm.
rent an apartment even.
It can impact so many things.
It can.
Yeah,
So it's about building a strong financial foundation.
it is. And they give some practical tips
Yes,
for improving your credit score,
you do.
which I appreciated.
Like what?
Like making all of your payments on time,
Yes, that's a big one.
keeping your credit card balances low,
Yes, very important.
and diversifying your credit mix.
Yes, exactly. So it's about demonstrating that responsible financial behavior
Consistently.
consistently over
And
time.
it's not something that just happens overnight. It's something you have to work at.
Exactly.
Now, I really like that this source didn't just stop at, the typical budgeting and saving advice.
Yeah,
It kind of took it a step further
it does.
and encouraged us to think beyond the paycheck.
Yes, I love that about this source.
Yeah.
So it really dives into income management and tax planning.
Two things that can feel...
It can feel overwhelming
Oh, yeah, right.
for a lot of people, but this source actually makes them very approachable.
I thought so, too, yeah.
So it starts by just explaining, what are tax brackets?
Okay.
Why is it important to understand them?
Right.
And how can that knowledge actually help you make better financial decisions?
Because it can
It
impact,
can impact everything.
like your investments and even retirement planning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think what's really important is this source emphasizes that understanding tax brackets isn't just for, the wealthy or people running businesses. It's really for everyone.
Regardless of income level. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about being an informed taxpayer
Yeah.
and making sure that you are taking advantage of any deductions or credits that you might be eligible for.
Because every little bit helps.
Exactly.
Right.
Every dollar you save in taxes is a dollar you can put toward your other financial goals.
Exactly. And speaking of deductions, this source also dives into how to maximize those.
Mm-hmm.
And it points out that there are often more deductions available than people realize.
It's true. A lot of people leave money on the table
They do, yeah.
because they're not aware of all the deductions that they could be claiming.
Yeah. So it encourages us to do our research,
Yes,
stay
absolutely.
organized,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can claim everything that we're entitled to.
It's worth it.
It is, yeah. The effort's worth it.
Definitely.
Now, beyond just managing your current income and taxes, this source also challenged us to think about income growth strategies,
I love that.
which I thought was...
It's so empowering.
It is.
Right. Because so often we think of our income as like this fixed thing.
Yes.
Right?
This is what I make.
But this source reminds us that it's not,
Yeah.
our earning potential is not static.
Right.
There are always opportunities to increase our income.
Whether it's through career advancement,
Exactly.
side hustle.
Side hustle, starting your own business even.
Exactly. So it's about being proactive,
Yeah.
exploring different avenues for financial growth.
It's taking ownership of your financial future. Yes. And not just accepting the status quo.
Yes. I love that. I love that perspective.
It's so important.
It is.
So remember that.
Now, shifting gears a bit, this source also tackled a topic that's essential for protecting your financial well-being: insurance.
Oh, yes. Insurance.
Now, while insurance might not be the most exciting,
Not the most exciting topic.
no, to think about,
I don't know.
it's
That's
critical.
important.
Yeah, it's a critical piece of the personal finance puzzle.
It is.
Because, as much as we'd like to think that nothing bad will ever happen,
Right. We like to think we're invincible.
yeah, life is full of surprises.
It is.
And those surprises can sometimes come with a pretty hefty price tag.
Yes, they can.
That's where insurance comes in.
Exactly. It's a safety net
It is.
that helps to protect you financially.
From those unexpected events.
Exactly.
This source actually gives a great overview of all the different types of insurance:
It does.
health, life auto,
How?
homeowners, or renters.
Mm-hmm.
And it explains the basics of each and why they're so important.
And why you need them,
Yeah.
depending on your situation.
Exactly. And it really emphasizes that peace of mind
Yes.
that comes with knowing you have the right coverage in place.
That feeling of security.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm protected
Yeah.
if something happens.
Exactly.
It's like transferring some of that
It's risk management.
risk. Yeah.
It's transferring that risk away from yourself
Yeah.
so you can focus on your goals
Yeah.
without constantly worrying about what if this happens.
Right. What if? Yeah, exactly.
And it's about protecting the people you care about, too.
Yeah.
I mean, life insurance, for example,
Mm-hmm.
can provide financial security for your loved ones in the event of,
In the event of your passing.
right. It's not something we like to think about, but it's important.
It's important.
It can help to cover expenses, pay off debts, and ensure that your family's taken care of.
Right. And this source really encourages us to assess our individual insurance needs based on our life stage.
Absolutely. What's right for a single 20-something is very different from what's needed for a family with young children.
Exactly. So it's about customizing your insurance coverage
Yes.
to fit your
Unique situation.
unique situation. Yeah.
Exactly. And your needs.
All right. We've explored a lot of important ground already. Budgeting, banking, emergency funds, debt management, investing, and insurance.
Wow, we've covered a lot.
But we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
This source wouldn't be complete without addressing something that can feel a little bit daunting.
Oh, okay. I'm ready for the challenge.
Especially when you're just starting out.
Okay.
Retirement planning.
Retirement. The big R word.
The big one. Yes.
It can seem so far off.
It does.
Especially when you're young.
Yeah, like, why am I even thinking about this now?
Right, but this source emphasizes just how crucial it is to start thinking about retirement early on.
It does. And even if it feels like it's, decades away, it really does make a difference to start early.
It makes a huge difference, and this source even dives into this concept of compound interest, which...
I found interest, I know. It's kind of like magic.
It feels like magic, right?
It does.
But think of it like this.
Okay.
The earlier you start investing, even if it's small amounts, the more time your money has to grow exponentially.
Right, it just keeps building.
Exactly. It's like a snowball rolling downhill.
Okay.
It starts small, but as it rolls, it gathers more snow, and it gains momentum over time.
I love that analogy.
So even if retirement feels ages away, those early contributions can make a huge difference in the long run.
They really can.
They can, and this source also breaks down some of the key retirement savings vehicles, like 401ks and IRAs.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
Those are the big ones, and it does it in a way that doesn't make your eyes glaze over.
Right, because they can get
They can get very technical.
Yeah, in the weeds.
Very quickly. But this source really just explains the basics of each and why these accounts are so powerful for building long-term wealth.
And why it's important to understand the difference between them. Right.
Because they are different, and you want to choose the option
that's right for you.
that aligns best with your situation.
And this source also encourages us to create a retirement timeline.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No matter how far away retirement might be.
Yeah, even if it's decades away.
Yeah, just to have a plan.
Have a plan, have a roadmap.
A roadmap.
Right. Even if it's just a simple outline of your goals and like a rough estimate of how much you might need to save.
Gives you a starting point.
It gives you a starting point, and it can also help to motivate you to stay on track.
Because it feels less overwhelming.
It does.
If you break it down.
If you break it down into smaller steps.
It's about taking control of your financial future.
Yes. Instead of just hoping for the best.
Right, exactly.
So many people just kind of cross their fingers and hope that retirement will magically work itself out.
Right.
But this source is saying, no, you actually have the power.
You can shape it.
To shape your financial future.
Yes. I love that.
Now, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in retirement planning.
Okay.
Social Security.
Social Security, yeah.
It's easy to assume...
like it'll cover everything.
It will just take care of everything.
Yeah.
But this source reminds us that that's not always the case.
It's not, no.
Social Security is a valuable piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But it's often not enough to maintain your desired lifestyle in retirement.
No, it's not.
So relying solely on Social Security could mean...
making some significant sacrifices.
Exactly. You might have to downsize your home. You might have to cut back on travel, things like that.
Yeah, so it's about having...
It's about having a backup plan.
Right.
This source emphasizes the importance of having a well-rounded retirement plan.
Okay.
That includes a variety of savings and investment strategies to supplement Social Security.
It's like that diversified portfolio approach.
Exactly. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
You want to have multiple streams of income.
Yes.
And you want to make sure that you are prepared.
So you can enjoy those golden years.
Exactly. without financial stress.
Yes, exactly. And remember, retirement planning isn't like...
It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
No,
It's an ongoing process.
it is.
This source encourages us to revisit our plans regularly,
Yeah,
adjust as needed,
right?
based on life changes.
Because life changes all the time.
It does.
Yeah,
And, stay informed
Yeah.
about what's going on in the financial landscape.
because things are always changing.
They are.
Yeah, so whether you're just starting your career
Mm-hmm.
or nearing retirement, staying engaged with your finances.
Is so important.
It is. It's key.
It is.
And this source really does a great job of breaking all of this down
It does.
in a way that is easy to understand and actionable.
And it really emphasizes that personal finance is a journey.
Yes.
It's not a destination.
Not a destination, yeah.
It's about continuous learning,
Mm-hmm.
adapting, and making those informed choices
Yeah.
that empower you to live a fulfilling life while building a secure financial future.
And you know what I really appreciate about this source? It's just the overall tone.
Oh, yeah.
It's very encouraging.
It is.
It's very positive.
That's empowering.
Empowering, and it makes you feel like, okay, I can do this.
Exactly.
Right.
You don't have to be perfect.
No.
You don't have to have it all figured out.
It's about progress.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's about taking those steps,
Mhm.
even if they're small.
Every little bit counts.
Every little bit
I'm
counts.
feeling very inspired
Me too.
and ready to take control of my finances.
That's what we want.
Yes.
We want you to feel empowered.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But this is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning of our deep dive.
Yes, and we're going to be back in part 2
Yes, we are.
to continue this journey.
So make sure you tune in
Make sure you join us.
for the next installment.
Yes, we'll see you then.
See you then.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Money 101, your guide to personal finance basics.
We're picking up right where we left off.
We are, and last time we covered a ton of ground. Everything from budgeting to banking to investing to insurance.
We really went through it all.
We did, but this source wouldn't be complete without addressing something that can feel a little daunting,
Okay.
especially when you're just starting out, retirement planning.
Ah, yes, retirement.
The big one.
The one we all try to avoid thinking about.
We do, but it's important.
It is. It is. It can seem so far off,
It does. It feels like forever away.
especially when you're young and just starting out.
Right, exactly. But this source really stresses just how crucial it is
Mm-hmm.
to start thinking about retirement early on.
It makes such a difference
It does.
to start early,
It really does.
even if it's just a small amount.
Yeah.
Consistency is key.
It is. And they even dive into this concept of compound interest,
Ah, the magic of compound interest.
which always feels a little bit like magic to me,
You
honestly.
know, right? It's like, wait, my money's making money.
Yeah,
But it's true. It's really powerful.
it is. It is.
Think of it like this, okay?
Okay.
The earlier you start investing, even if it's small amounts, the more time your money has to grow exponentially.
So it's like it builds on itself.
Exactly. It's like a snowball rolling downhill,
Okay.
Starts small, but then it just keeps gathering momentum.
I like that analogy.
Right. So even if retirement feels like ages away,
Yeah.
those early contributions can make a huge difference in the long run.
They really can.
They really can.
Now, this source also breaks down some of the key retirement savings vehicles,
Okay.
like 401ks and IRAs.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
Those are the big
The
ones.
heavy hitters.
And they do it in a way that doesn't make your eyes glaze over.
Right, because those topics can get very technical very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So this source really just focuses on the basics.
Okay.
Like, what is a 401k? What is an IRA? And why are they so powerful for building long-term wealth?
Right. And it also stresses the importance of understanding the difference between them.
Yes, because they are different.
They're not interchangeable.
Exactly. And you want to choose the option that aligns best with your individual situation.
So it's about doing your research.
It is. It's about knowing your options.
Knowing your options, yes. And this source also encourages us to create a retirement timeline,
Oh, I love that.
no matter how far away retirement might be.
It's never too early
Never too early
to start planning.
to start planning.
Even if it's just a rough outline
Okay.
of your goals, how much you might need to save, when you want to retire,
Gives you a starting point.
it gives you a starting point and a sense of direction, right?
Yes, and it can be really motivating, too.
Oh, absolutely. It makes it feel less overwhelming.
Less overwhelming, right? Because you've got a plan.
You have a plan. You know where you're going.
Exactly. It's about taking control
Yes.
of your financial future.
Not just hoping for the best.
Not just hoping for the best. Yeah. And so many people just kind of,
They just cross their fingers and hope that it'll all work out. But
yeah,
this source is like, no, you can actually
you can be
be
proactive.
proactive and shape your financial future.
It's empowering. I love it.
Now, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in retirement planning. Social Security.
Social Security, yeah, it's easy to assume.
That it will just cover everything, right?
It will. It will take care of it.
But this source reminds us that that's not always the case.
It's not.
Social Security is a valuable piece of the puzzle, for sure,
Mm.
but it's often not enough to maintain your desired lifestyle in retirement.
And your lifestyle might change.
Exactly. You might want to travel more, spend more time with family, whatever it is. You might need more than what Social Security provides.
Right. So relying solely on Social Security could mean making some significant sacrifices later on.
Yeah, you might have to downsize your home. You might have to cut back on things that you enjoy.
So this source really stresses the importance of having a well-rounded retirement plan.
That includes a variety of savings and investment strategies to supplement Social Security.
So it's about having that diversified portfolio approach.
Exactly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Have multiple streams of income.
Yes, so you can enjoy those golden years.
Without that financial stress.
Exactly, because retirement should be a time to relax and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
It should be. And remember, retirement planning isn't like a set it and forget it kind of thing.
No, it's an ongoing process.
It is.
And something that you need to revisit regularly.
Revisit and adjust, right.
Adjust as needed based on life changes.
Because life changes all the time.
Constantly. And also, stay informed about what's going on in the financial landscape because things are always changing, right?
Things are always changing.
The rules change, the market changes.
Interest rates change.
Exactly.
So yeah, whether you're just starting your career or nearing retirement,
Mm-hmm.
staying engaged with your finances is crucial.
It's so important.
And, I think this source really does a good job
Mm-hmm.
of breaking all of this down in a way that's
Yeah.
easy to understand and actionable.
It really emphasizes that personal finance is a journey.
Yeah.
It's not a destination.
It's not like you just arrive
You don't just graduate.
and you're done. Yeah.
Right. It's about continuous learning,
Mhm.
adapting, and making those informed choices that empower you to live a fulfilling life.
While building a secure financial future.
Exactly. And, one of the things I really appreciate about this source
Yeah.
is that the overall tone is very encouraging.
It is. It's very positive.
It is. It's empowering. It makes you feel like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, it makes you feel like it's possible.
Exactly. You don't have to be perfect.
You don't have to have it all figured out.
You don't have to know all the answers.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And I think that's so important to remember.
And speaking of progress, we've made a lot of progress in this deep dive.
We've covered a ton of information.
But we're not quite done yet.
There's still more to explore.
There is. We're going to wrap things up in part 3,
So be sure to join us for the final installment
where we'll share some key takeaways and actionable steps that you can take today.
to start building that brighter financial future.
We'll see you then.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Money 101, your guide to personal finance basics.
We're in the home stretch now.
We've covered so much ground.
Budgeting, banking, investing, retirement planning, even insurance.
It's been a lot, but you know what I really appreciate about this source is how it emphasizes that personal finance.
Yeah.
It's not about mastering everything overnight.
Oh, absolutely not. It's more about
It's a continuous journey.
cultivating a mindset,
Yeah, always learning.
of continuous learning.
Because things are changing all the time.
They are. The financial landscape is always evolving.
Exactly.
I love the analogy this source uses.
Oh, what's that?
They compare it to tending a garden.
Oh, I like that.
You have to keep watering, weeding, and adjusting to the changing
Oh,
seasons
right, to see it flourish.
to see it grow. Yeah. And just like every garden's unique,
Mm-hmm.
there's no one-size-fits-all approach to personal finance.
Absolutely not.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Everyone's situation is different.
Exactly. And this source really encourages us to find the tools
Yeah.
and strategies that resonate with our own individual circumstances and goals.
And what we're comfortable with.
Right, what feels right for you.
Exactly.
That's what makes personal finance so empowering.
It is. You have that control.
It is. It's about taking control and making choices that align with your values
Yeah.
and your vision for the future.
And your goals.
And your goals,
It's
exactly.
not about following someone else's rules.
No.
It's about creating your own path.
Creating your own path, yes. And this whole deep dive has really been packed with information.
Oh, tons of information.
But I think the most powerful takeaway for me
Yeah.
is that sense of empowerment that comes with financial literacy.
Oh, absolutely.
It's about shifting from feeling overwhelmed and uncertain to a place of confidence and control.
Yeah, like you can take
I
charge.
got this.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
about realizing that you have the power to shape your own financial future.
And you do. You really do.
You do. And this source does a fantastic job of reminding us of that.
It does. It's very inspiring.
And it shows that financial success, no matter your starting point,
Doesn't matter where you're starting from.
it's achievable
You can do it.
with the right knowledge and effort.
Exactly. And it takes effort. You have to be willing to put in the work.
You do. You have to be committed to it. This source has given us the tools, but now it's time to take action.
It is. We've got to put this knowledge to use.
We do. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
we want to leave you with a challenge.
Okay, I like a challenge.
What one action step will you take today based on what you've learned?
That's a good question.
What small change can you make to start moving toward a brighter financial future?
What's that one thing?
Will you revisit your budget?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Research different savings accounts.
Maybe try that envelope system.
Maybe even dip your toes into the world of investing.
Lots of options.
There are
So many possibilities.
so many. Write it down.
Yeah, get it out of your head and onto paper.
Make a plan,
That's step one.
and then take that first step.
You can do it.
You can. And remember, the journey to financial well-being, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
No quick fixes here.
No quick fixes. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress.
And keep learning, right?
And never stop learning. Exactly.
This is just the beginning.
It is. And we're so glad you joined us on this deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Until next time, keep those financial fires burning bright.